Live from Paradise Studios in New York, Strong Island Television presents Under the Radar, starring Randy Unger. Brought to you by Magnitude Jewelry. Add a 2 to match your attitude. Tonight, we're going to be discussing Ghostbusters Fan Fest with Ghostbusters actress Robin Shelby. Randy will also be reviewing the new films Ophelia and Toy Story 4 with special guest critics Amanda Vasquez, Nick Commando, and Kumasi Hopkins. And now, here's your host, Randy Unger.
Hey guys, welcome to Under the Radar. I'm your host, Randy Unger, where we talk all things film. And right now, on the phone, on Skype actually, I have actress Robin Shelby of Ghostbusters 2 and Ghostbusters Answer the Call. Hey Shelby. Robin.
Hi, how are you? Thanks for having me.
Good, anytime. How are you today?
I'm great. I hope you're doing wonderful over there.
Oh yeah, it's good. It's a little hot, but you know, we're surviving. It's actually a really nice beach day.
Welcome to summer, right?
Yeah, here we are. So, what was it, about 2 weeks ago that the festival ended? It feels like it was just yesterday.
I know. I'm still recovering, actually.
I can imagine. I bet you were a lot busier than I was.
It was so much fun.
What was your
It was so much
experience
fun.
like?
I'm sorry?
What was your experience like overall?
It was amazing. You know, I think the biggest thing was meeting some people that I've known online forever, but meeting them in person.
Okay.
And I think it was just one big nerd fest, me being the biggest nerd of them all. It was just so much fun. It was great. And I think everybody had a great time. Everybody got to, I think it was the biggest thing, is fans meeting fans seemed to be like, you know, the most exciting thing for everyone.
I think it was I think it was like a couple of thousand ghost heads that were in attendance or something like that.
Yes,
Insane.
And it, you know, it was just everybody kind of came together united, and there's a lot of just support and a lot of love for each other, and I had a great time. It was warm, and I know a lot of people were sweating, but you know, it kind of didn't really matter because everybody just had a good time anyway.
I still have a sunburn actually. It's kind of peeling.
Do
now.
you?
Yeah. But it's a nice reminder of such an awesome weekend. So.
Oh, so you had fun too, right?
Oh yeah. And I was actually there not only as a New York City Ghostbuster, but also as press. So I was kind of juggling.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so it was I was wearing a lot of hats that weekend. But mostly I just had a great time. It was an amazing time.
I'm glad you did.
I think it might have been
glad you did.
maybe the best weekend of my life, I must say.
Really? So what was your favorite part? Just out of curiosity, what did you enjoy the most?
Meeting you in person, of course.
Oh.
No, I mean,
you're so sweet.
Meeting everybody there, you know, the fans, just seeing Dan Aykroyd from a distance was amazing.
Yeah.
And just being around people with the same mindset that this is an incredible franchise, and even seeing kids that are enjoying it too, bringing the next generation into it. It was just an overall an amazing experience.
I agree. I met some kids there that just stole my heart. It was so much fun. Like you said, just kind of like the grandparents and the parents passing it down to their kids, and it was pretty cool.
Yeah. And now, do you have kids? I'm just curious.
I have a dog.
Oh, you have a dog?
She's my kid. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Her name's Maddie. She's kind of she's known on the internet. I post pictures of her all the time.
Okay.
But she's kind of like, she's our kid. Both my husband and I were actors, so we're kind of it would be kind of unfair. I think when you have a kid, it's got to be like that's your 100% attention and your priority.
Okay.
And I think although we do give our dog high priority, she is our kid.
Yeah.
But I just think we're pursuing things, and it just wouldn't be fair if you can't put that child first and foremost. It's you got to rethink your priorities and what's fair.
Sure.
And we just both decided that a dog is perfect.
Okay.
And that's our kid. Yeah.
And is your dog into Ghostbusters at all? Do you dress them like with a bandana with a no ghost logo or a little proton pack?
Oh, she'd hate me. She would hate me forever. She hates anything on her. I've tried to put, like when it's raining out, I tried to put a little, like a wetsuit on her, a raincoat.
Oh.
Hated it.
Oh.
Absolutely hated it. I took a picture of her. She looked like she was like ready to bite me. It was horrible.
No.
So I don't put costumes on her, but
Okay.
but I think she's supportive in her own way anyway.
Cool. All right, now going back, let's go back 30 years. I'm just curious, how did you get the part of Slimer in Ghostbusters 2? How did that happen?
Yeah. I worked on a film called Willow.
Oh, of course.
At Industrial Light and Magic.
Yeah.
For those of you, if you might not know, I was actually the troll on the bridge that got eaten by a two-headed monster.
Great scene, yeah.
And I know, right? I was so lucky. And I got called in. I worked a couple of days on that. And I got to know Ned Gorman, who is kind of the supervisor there. And I did a couple days work, and about a year later, my agent got a call from ILM.
Nice.
Yeah, we'd like to see Robin again for an audition. They wouldn't kind of tell me what it was. And I went in to audition, and like a day later, I found out that I was going to be Slimer in Ghostbusters 2.
That's so cool. And now it was a suit that you wore, and then they did like kind of like CGI around the suit to make it like all ghostly.
I think that you're right. I think it was a transition period where there was practical effects, and they're starting to incorporate digital effects as well. So we shot our stuff, and they did do some digital effects to make it look kind of see-through and ghost-like, and the mist on Slimer, and we were in front of a blue screen for about a month shooting.
Wow.
We rehearsed for about 6 weeks before we actually shot anything.
Cool.
And they took it all and added it to what they had shot with the principal photography, and there you have it.
Yeah. And now, so I know that Ghostbusters 2 kind of borrows heavily from the cartoon Real Ghostbusters. It was more of like a lighthearted family cartoon vibe. Did you reference the cartoon at all for your performance?
No, you know what? That's a really good question. I kind of when I first found out what I was cast in and what I was doing, I was kind of horrified, because it's a big shoes to fill, right? It's like, it's a character that everybody knows, everybody loves, and I wanted to do a good job with it. I wanted to do it justice. So I went in, and I didn't even watch Ghostbusters again after that. I just wanted to go in and listen to what they wanted and just take direction. Nobody ever told me this is based on a particular, like the Real Ghostbusters, or I just kind of, day by day, I listened to what they wanted and just tried to create our own version of Slimer that they wanted for Ghostbusters 2. Okay. But the look definitely is a little more kid-friendly,
right?
Than Ghostbusters 1. They definitely did alter it a bit, and I kind of think, yes, it was kind of changed a little bit from the Real Ghostbusters and adding a little bit more of a family-friendly take on it, though.
Right.
And Slimer was definitely a little bit more helpful in Ghostbusters 2 than the original Ghostbusters.
Well, yeah, he's basically their pet, their mascot. So
kind of, he was there to help Lewis, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
he took him
picks
on
him
the
up,
bus,
trying to help him out.
Yeah. So
and there was a scene that got cut. In Ghostbusters 2, he picks him up on the bus.
Okay.
And there's a scene where he drops him off on the bus and goes off and gets off the bus with Lewis, wanting to go with him to help. And Lewis tells him no. But he goes, with arms like that, I bet you're really good at bowling. and he licks Lewis upside the face, slimes him, then kind of does a little spin and goes away. So I was so bummed
that would have been
actually
an amazing
happened.
scene.
That got cut.
Yeah,
but it's a great little scene. It kind of explains why he was there and where he was taking him.
Oh, that's so cool. And now fast forward almost 30 years to Answer the Call. You sort of reprised your role, but this time as Mrs. Ghostbuster, Mrs. Slimer.
Yeah.
How did that? What was
I
that
played
like?
my own love interest, right?
Yeah.
I need therapy. It's like I played my love interest in 2 different films.
You're in love with yourself.
Yes. It was great. I got a Twitter message from Paul Feig, who I'd never met, who asked me, "Hey, I've got something for you if you're interested." And how could I say no, right?
Yeah.
And it's kind of a testament to Paul Feig and him kind of reaching out to people from the original and just kind of making it a little more personal to the fans. I adore Paul Feig. I think he's the nicest person. He's amazing.
Yeah.
Nicest person you'll meet. He's great.
Especially with the fans, he's totally cool.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's like he amazes me. And Ernie Hudson, really, honestly, same way. Just like will bend over backwards and just loves the fans and why they're there, and he supports them like they support him.
Yeah. The line.
I love. I kind of took a cue from Ernie with the
Okay.
first convention I did. It's like this is really what it is to appreciate the people who appreciate you.
Okay. Yeah, I met him at New York Comic Con maybe like not 8 years ago. I got a photo with
Uh-huh.
him, and he was there with his son, and he was helping out Ernie, his dad, and yeah, he was just totally down to earth, very very cool, easy to talk to, and just like Winston, he's a man of the people, like he's the voice of the Ghostbusters, and.
He's so down to earth, and he's wonderful.
Yeah.
Honestly, when you meet people that you respect, and I respected him from the original Ghostbusters as an actor, and to meet somebody that you respect, you hope they're as nice as you want them to be, and he certainly absolutely is. He's amazing.
Nice, nice. So are you active with Comic Cons and conventions and stuff like that?
Yeah, actually, I am. I do about 3 a year.
Okay.
And it's so much fun for me to go in and again meet fans that I've maybe met only online or have never met at all.
Right.
Meet kids that toddlers that are dressed as Slimer. It melts my heart. I always have fun going to conventions. It's always a good time.
Nice. What's over the years? What was your like a standout moment for you? A highlight.
I had a second cousin that I didn't meet previously.
All right.
And my first cousin put him coming up to me and asking if I would sign his derriere.
Okay.
I'm putting it really mildly.
Wow.
I didn't know that was my cousin. It was all a joke.
Okay. That's a weird joke.
And I just basically said, I'm so sorry. No, I can't do that. And then it all turned out. Then I figured out who it was and that
Oh
it was
my
all a joke. That stands out. That stands out to me.
Yeah, that's
Absolutely.
a good one. And I saw a picture online of you with a case of Ecto Cooler. Are you a fan?
Yes.
Are you a fan of the beverage?
Are you kidding? You know what the best is?
What?
For you adults who can drink adult beverages, the Ecto Cooler and vodka
Yeah.
is an incredible summer drink.
Well, that was a
it's great.
signature cocktail at the 35th anniversary screening prior to FanFest. They had a
There
bar
you go.
set up at the theater, and it was actually called the Slimer, where it was Crystal
There you go.
Crystal Head vodka and Ecto Cooler. So it's perfect.
And definitely Crystal had vodka and the Ecto Cooler. Perfect. Oh my gosh. And that's exactly what
Yeah.
somebody gave me some Crystal vodka and I got the Ecto Cooler and put it together. And it was just incredible. Oh my gosh. It was great.
I've actually never had the Crystal Head vodka. Is it? I hear it's very smooth, very enjoyable.
It is.
Yeah.
It really is. I mean, I'll be honest. I'm more of like a when I do have like white wine is more my
Yeah.
drink of choice.
Right.
But the vodka is very smooth and it didn't taste like alcohol, which is kind of dangerous. It's really easy to drink.
Right.
So, but that's a testament to Crystal Head. It really is easy to drink.
Cool. Now I'm switching gears a bit. Aside from Ghostbusters, is there anything you're working on now that you can talk about? Any projects?
Yeah, actually, a couple. I just worked on a short film. It's called Sins Unveiled.
Okay.
And basically, there's a writer producer. His name is Matthew Lewis. I don't know if there's a Netflix series called Godless.
Okay.
I don't know if you might have seen it.
Yeah, it sounds familiar, but I've never seen it though. But yeah.
There are two twins that were in the series.
Okay.
And I had worked with them on a previous production a couple of years back, called The Gloaming, and they called me up saying, "Hey, there's something in this for you. What do you say? Do you want to do it?" And the fact that it was pretty amazing that they called me like a couple of years after the fact. We kept in touch, but it was just very sweet that they thought of me and ended up working on that last week.
Okay.
And I had so much fun.
Nice.
And it's got a great message to it. It's about kind of about small towns that deal with hate and fear and violence
Okay.
in the small town. Very, very relevant to today.
Okay.
And it has a great message about it. So I was pretty proud to be a part of it.
And what is your role in that?
It's a smaller role, which is totally fine with me. I play the mother of one of the twins who is leaving a party after hearing some things that a mother just doesn't want to hear.
Okay.
And but it's kind of light, it's lighthearted, kind of on the comedic side, but which is kind of nice. I'm kind of like the levity in a very serious short film.
Oh, good. Okay.
So I had a blast. I can't wait to see it. And like I said, I'm kind of excited for it to come out because I think it's got an amazing message for everybody.
Cool. Do you know when the release date is, or?
I don't know. You know what? You can always go, a little plug for my website. You can go
Sure.
to robinshelby.net, and there's a news section.
Okay.
And whenever I get information like that, I'll post it. I'm pretty good at posting things the minute I hear it. Mm-hmm. So I'm hoping to hear something soon about whether it be, festivals that it might be in or when it's going to be released to the public. I'll definitely keep you posted.
Okay.
But we just shot it, so I'm not thinking it's going to be any time in the next month or so, but
Right.
hopefully soon, because I'm excited for people to see it.
Nice. And I know Jason Reitman's keeping things a little close, very tight-lipped, but do you think Slimer's going to make an appearance in 2020?
And I've had a lot of people at FanFest.
Yeah.
What my biggest question was,
Yeah.
So are you in the next film?
Yeah.
And it's so sweet, that people are asking and kind of thinking, hey, maybe she'll be in it. In all honesty, mm-hmm. I don't know. I'm hoping.
Okay.
Fingers crossed.
Yes. Yes.
I did get to. I met Ivan before because of Ghostbusters too, mm-hmm. but I just met Jason at FanFest.
Okay. Cool.
And it was very sweet. He I went up to him, and of course, when you meet somebody, what do? You introduce yourself to them, right?
Right.
And I introduced myself. Hi, I'm Robin Shelby. He goes, I know who you are.
That's good. That's a good start.
I had no idea. But he was having a great time too. From what I could tell, he was loving being with the fans, and mm-hmm. he's in for a lot more of that. With the new film coming out, he better get used to it because he's gonna have a lot of fans approaching him and talking to him.
Definitely.
But he was very nice. But I don't know. I'm really hoping that it works out because I would love in any capacity. I'd love to be part of it. Mm-hmm. I love the franchise, as you probably figured.
Yep.
So fingers crossed.
Cool.
I hope so.
My fingers are crossed too.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So exciting. So you mentioned the short film. Anything else happening that we should know of? Or?
We're working on. We have a web series. It's called Two Cops in a Car.
Cool.
We've already shot some episodes that are out there. You can look it up on YouTube. Okay. You can look up Two Cops in a Car or go to Sean and Robin. That's SEAN and then the letter N and then Robin, and view Two Cops in a Car. Okay. It's about two inept cops who are on stakeouts and they're horrible at what they do. And I'm one of the inept cops. My husband plays the other inept cop. He writes it, and it's so much fun. It's just silly.
Is
There's
Maddie
no
in
moral
it too?
to it.
Is Maddie in it? Is Maddie in it too?
No, Maddie. I don't know. Maddie is right here. She's being very jealous right now.
Oh no.
No, Maddie is not in it. I don't know if she'd do so well in front of the camera and take commands under pressure like that. But it's like I said, it's basically about two cops undercover doing a stakeout, and they run into different perpetrators and informants, and the craziness ensues. But it's so much fun.
Cool.
They're very short, so they're easy to watch. Mm-hmm. They're like anywhere between 2 and 5 minutes, so it doesn't take a lot of investment to watch an episode.
Yeah, okay.
And it's my husband jokes that he writes for ADD. That you can watch something quickly and not take a lot of time doing it, but nice. Check it out. It's a lot of fun. So we're getting ready to shoot a few more of those episodes, hopefully soon.
Cool. And now I just want to go back to Willow, actually.
Sure, of course.
How did you get that role, by the way?
I had an agent. I was living in the Bay Area. Okay. I was living in Sunnyvale, which is kind of about an hour outside of San Francisco. And my agent called me saying, hey, do you want to audition? There's this film. It's at an ILM, which at that point, I didn't even know what ILM really, I wasn't uninformed about it. So I went up there. They are brilliant there and fell in love with the couple days that I was there. It was just like a kid in a candy shop. They're talented and brilliant. And here I was 19 years old looking at all this stuff that, I just dreamed about. So it was amazing.
And this is
So I just went there and auditioned and worked there for a couple of days. It was literally just a phone call and going up there and meeting with them.
And that was one of the first films that did, I think they called it morphing, where they show the character like shifting its, physical form. They also did it in, I think, Cocoon, which was also like a few years prior.
I think you're right. I think it is. Like, there's some new technology in that film that had never been used before. You're right. And I think it was in morphing.
ILM is insane. And that was what, 87, 88, right?
That was 88, I believe. And then it was a year later, 89, that they called saying, hey, come on down.
That's so cool. That's so cool.
And when I got called for Ghostbusters, there's kind of a story with that. Slimer was written in the script, and they had already cast somebody else was already cast for the role. And then they wrote Slimer out. And they released him. They released the original person who's scheduled to play Slimer from his contract because he wasn't needed. Then they wrote Slimer back in. He wasn't available. And then Ned Gorman, who hired me on Willow, said, well, I might have somebody that just might be right for this. Give her a call. Nice. And that's when they called me in to audition. So that's kind of how it all worked out. I just happened to be the right size and they thought I could physically fit what they needed to do. And that's why I got a phone call. So it was being in the right place at the right time, really.
Well, thank you for answering the call, Robin.
Hey, that was my pleasure. I'm so grateful and so blessed that I've been a part of the whole franchise since for the last 30 years. It's a blessing, really.
It's amazing, and another 30 years are coming. I could see it.
Yes, that would be awesome. That'd be awesome.
All right, Robin. Well, you know what? If you're ever in Long Island, we'd love to have you stop by in person for an in-person interview.
I would love that. Maybe some sushi. Who knows?
That would be amazing too.
Yay! Yay!
Dragon rolls.
Good. And thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Anytime, Robin. Thank you so much for this. This was great.
Thank you. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Take care.
All right, guys. We're going to take a short commercial break, but we'll be back with our film review segment right after this.
Under the Radar is brought to you by Magnitude Jewelry. Add a 2 to match your attitude. Patent pending, interchange genuine gemstone and crystal EMF protection jewelry. For more information, please visit magnitudejewelry.com/gemgirl or call 718-268-6634.
Hey guys, welcome back to Under the Radar. I'm your host Randy Unger, and this is our film review segment, and we've got two very nice guest critics today. We've got Miss Amanda Vasquez, hello.
Hi.
How are you?
Good.
Good
How
to
are
see you. And Mr. Nick Commando, not the Arnold Schwarzenegger movie.
Hello, Randall.
I'm Randall now?
Yeah, you're Randall now.
Okay. I mean, I go back and forth. I usually go by Randy these days, but I like when you say it. It sounds professional.
How about Yidnar?
No.
It's your name backwards.
Let me sleep on that, but
right.
I don't know.
Wait,
Yidnar, why Yidnar?
Yeah, where'd you get that?
Did you just make that up?
YDNAR, Randy backwards.
Oh.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's me in the mirror. That's weird.
Yeah. This is things that go through my head
Yeah.
on a normal basis.
So how you guys been? Nick, I haven't seen you in a while.
I'm alive.
You're alive.
So-
You're still alive.
I'm still alive. I have not died since the last time you
Oh
asked.
my
That
god.
is always a good thing about my
That's so
show.
morbid.
Imagine if I dropped dead while you're doing the interview.
know.
Terrible.
That would suck.
Really bad.
Oh,
yeah.
God.
I did go to the doctor, and they didn't
Certified
say
for
anything was wrong
CPR.
with me, so I guess I'm okay.
Certified
Okay,
for
you look
CPR. I'll
good. You
revive
look, healthy.
Thank you.
Stay that way, please.
I will do my best.
And Amanda, how are you?
Good.
Yeah.
Enjoying that the summer just
Oh my
started.
God, yeah.
And the rain is finally gone.
Finally, right? That was ridiculous. Oh, all right, guys. So
So much rain.
Yeah.
So much rain, like every day last week.
It followed me.
It's ridiculous.
I was in, no,
Like
I
the
was
cloud.
no,
Like, yeah.
last week I was in Washington D.C. and it rained while we
So
were
you
there.
brought the rain then.
And then I came back up,
No.
and it continued to rain.
Wow.
So we have you to blame for this.
Yes, it's my fault. My own.
Take full responsibility.
I'm very
Take full
upset by this.
responsibility.
All right, guys. So we have two films today. Very different films, actually. I just
different.
realized when Ryan said it that they were very different films.
Very different.
Yeah, it was something we were commenting before we were,
Yeah.
live. You have a knack. One of my favorite parts of doing this show, and one of the most infuriating parts of
Oh no.
is the movies that you choose
Right.
don't have any relation whatsoever.
Right.
So it's.
I like to mix it up.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think it's fantastic, and I don't think you should change your process at all.
No.
Okay.
But weeks like this, it's very apparent, and it's really in an entertaining way.
And it's hard to tell which one to leave for last. Like, which one are you going to like
Yeah.
more?
Yeah, exactly.
Until you started, you're like, I should have left this one for last.
Yeah, and then I realized, oh God, I'm back in high school English.
Yeah. Oh wow. It is like homework in a way, but it's sort of fun homework in a way.
Oh no.
It depends on the movie.
No,
if
I-
it's
True.
fun homework.
When we
That's a
get
good
to the
point.
film that my comment pertains to, I will clarify.
Yeah, high school English.
I don't want to commandeer the show.
That's fine. We'll save the negativity for the end, for the second half of the
It's a great way to end it.
Yeah. Go out with a bang.
Yeah.
And we'll pepper in some positivity too.
Go out with a wow.
Yeah. So first off, guys, we've got Toy Story 4, the fourth installment of the famous Pixar franchise. There you go. Woody and Buzz, Bo, and the new characters in the back. I forget their names.
Ducky and Bunny.
Thank you. And yeah, I
He's
thought
not even there.
I honestly thought they capped off the franchise well with the third movie. In a way, I thought this was kind of unnecessary, and it was kind of like Disney trying to get more money.
I mean, it depends on how you're seeing it. Like, a lot of people did agree with what you just said,
Yeah.
but I feel like this one was more of a finale than the last one.
You have to. You leave the toys with a new kid.
Yeah.
You have to tell at least one story with the new
I
kid.
agree.
I think they're going to
Like,
come up with
to
more,
me-
though. Unfortunately, I don't know.
I think that. I mean, I could see
I don't know. The way
5-10 years down the road, there's a Toy Story 5,
Yeah.
I see that.
and everybody's reunited,
I can
Yeah.
see that.
and
I could
that's
definitely see
that's
that.
like the end,
Yeah.
Right.
because
I
you know,
could definitely
whether
see
it's a
that.
money grab or not, the movies have never disappointed.
That's true.
And
They're-
you're thinking of it as an adult, like
Yeah.
you're
Okay.
not thinking of the next generation. They always think about the next generation.
That's
Yeah,
a good point.
And
exactly.
kids
That's a
are
good
seeing
point.
this could be their first Toy Story. They
True.
never watched them.
Yeah, you could be
one.
bringing your kid for the first time who's only ever seen the first 3 on DVD,
Yeah.
and then this is their movie,
Right.
and then they come in, and you know, you're sitting there as the adult, you're like, back in my day, we only had one of these.
Yeah.
And you know, yes, it's a money grab, but at the same time, it's not a gratuitous money grab because
Yeah.
they actually did a pretty darn good job with the film.
Sure.
Exactly.
I think the story was.
I think they did a really good job, especially
Yeah.
if they're trying to. The storyline was not dry.
I thought
it was
the
a
story.
really good job.
I thought the story was a little lacking. It was kind of weird, kind of dark, and they're just in this antique shop. I mean,
Hey,
I
real
kind of
life
respected
is
what they were
dark.
trying to do,
Real
but
life is
it was a
tough.
little off. It was off.
I think I'm not sure I necessarily agree with that because for me, we have never seen those characters. Like we've seen fringe and ancillary characters in
Yeah.
that scenario where they're no longer played with.
Uh-huh.
You know, Lotso in what was that? Toy Story 3.
Three, yeah.
Lotso, Hug-A-Bear. You know, Toy Story 2. I'm sure had 1 or 2 toys that were like
Forgotten
that.
toys.
The
Yeah.
forgotten toys. You didn't have Woody or Buzz or
Main
Slinky or
ones.
any of them go through that, and,
Yep.
and that to me is why I think is what makes this movie work for me is because it's like I said before, it's not a gratuitous money grab where it's just like they're pulling a story out of their butt. Like they actually thought about this, and I think they put together a pretty decent story where
And
it's like
yeah.
Woody, you know, no longer has what he had always had, and he
Right.
has to make adjustments and figure out where he stands in the world.
It's more of an adult theme, actually.
I felt like
Very-
they did that on
Yeah.
purpose. Like like how we said that you would bring your kids, but I
Yeah.
feel like it was geared toward our generation. because of the age that we are, like when it first came out, you were a little kid, you were fresh, you were ready.
Yeah.
And now where we are, depending on whoever I'm talking about, we're in the stage where we're like, we feel a little forgotten, or we don't know where we are in our lives. And we kind of feel like Woody, like we were fresh, we were ready to go, and now we kind of lost our way, and we need to figure it out. And I feel like that's geared toward the people who watched Toy Story 1.
Well, the other thing that I was thinking about, too, because where we were in the theater, you know, another thing, anytime I see movies that you assign us in the theaters, and I buy the tickets, there's nobody in the theater. So when I pick the seats, it's empty.
Even for this?
And when I go and sit, somebody's always sitting next to me. And it makes me so mad.
That's not my fault.
I know that's not your fault. I know it's not your fault.
happens.
But it's kind of like a funny anecdotal thing because like it's every time that happens, it just makes me mad.
Pick where everyone wants to
No,
sit?
I don't. I think the row I always pick is empty, and then when I get there, somebody else bought seats. But that's not why I went on this tangent. I thought about this when I was watching the movie. I looked over to my left, and it was a father, and I think he had 2 daughters with them. And at one point, one of them was like standing up and watch. It looked like she was watching the movie, but she was also probably somewhere around 6 or 7 years old.
Right.
You know, these movies, yeah, they're made for kids.
But
They're not made for kids because the kid's not really paying a ton of attention. When we were walking into the theater to watch it, there was a kid standing in like the hallway outside the theater, and then he ran back into his theater. And I was like, well, that kid's definitely not watching the movie.
He's not
Toy
paying
Story 5
attention.
showing.
Yeah.
Toy Story 4 showing, rather.
not paying attention at all.
They don't always make those movies specifically for kids because it's the adult that really has to sit there and kind of take it in, because if they don't, they're not gonna know the movie's
Well, a
over.
movie like that, it's.
I mean, as long as it's safe for kids and it's
it should be a
animated,
nice
that's enough
balance.
for kids.
Exactly, and the message
enough for them.
it gives and the story that it tells.
Right.
I got emotional like 3 or 4 times.
I
There
know.
were 2 moments
I
for me.
know.
Really, it makes me so angry because those movies should not make me feel that way, and they do, and I hate it.
It's always
But
those
it's
movies.
awesome, and I will give them money anytime.
Always.
they do
Do
this.
you remember Up? Like,
I was just
come
about to
on.
The beginning of that movie.
Remember
I had
Nemo?
I had the
Oh
Up
my God!
effect.
Come on.
The first technical issue. Good. The first 10 minutes of Up are insanely great. That's some of the best animated film
And
storytelling
Finding Nemo,
ever.
I cried at least 3 times.
It-
At Finding Nemo.
That's what happened with me. I got very emotional at the beginning of that because
These type of
I had the
movies
Up
always
effect for Toy Story 4 because
Right.
it tells you the whole story of Andy
Yep.
That's amazing.
going up to when he drops it off at drops the kid the
And that's
toys
the
off
first
with
5
Bonnie.
minutes. That's
Yeah.
the first 5 minutes that I'm like,
Yeah.
Like, what
that
are
was
you
emotional.
doing?
I was like, he.
And I said to my fiance when we walked out, has Pixar ever made a bad movie?
No.
Have Disney Pixar ever made a bad movie together?
I
really
mean,
don't
no,
think they have.
but A Bug's Life I wasn't impressed by that one. But that
Bug's
was
Life was great.
that was an early Pixar though.
No, we are going to
like-
fight about this. A Bug's Life was wonderful.
I love
think
the Bug's
okay.
Life.
Ants is better. I said it.
No,
I said
Ants has Woody Allen in it, and he's terrible.
I loved his earlier
I
work.
definitely think back
but
to
Ants
Ants
is
a lot
great.
more.
Well, the funny thing
Ants
about
is
that
really
is it's literally the same plot, just
It
with
is.
2
different types
Disney
of insects.
Pixar and
It is.
the
Where
other-
Bugs was more
whoever made
versatile,
Ants.
and
You've got-
Ants is
You've
just
got
Ants.
Gene Hackman as the voice of the villain. Like that voice alone, it's so good. He was a
Yeah,
great
but
villain.
Kevin Spacey was the villain in A Bug's Life. and
Hackman-
Richard Kind was his
no.
brother. That was fantastic.
Richard, I like Richard Kind.
great.
I didn't like it so much though. Monsters Incorporated though.
That was really good.
That's one of my favorite
Oh my God.
animated
Oh
films
God, yeah,
ever.
absolutely.
Yes, definitely.
University
Yeah.
though, not so great.
Monsters University was good.
Yeah.
Monsters University.
I didn't love it though.
Right, but
I didn't
this is
love
the
it
debate
either.
but this is the debate we were having. You saying you didn't love it.
Right.
Did
But
you
it
think it was
wasn't
bad?
bad.
No.
Yeah, it
I
wasn't
mean, the animation's
bad.
phenomenal.
Exactly.
Story's decent.
Exactly.
It wasn't bad.
It's not bad.
They've never
no.
made a movie where you're like, oh yeah,
True.
I'm gonna skip that one for sure. Like,
Right,
not,
right.
like those movies, they just don't make bad movies.
That's
don't.
right.
That's what amazes me. You know, you talk about Marvel too.
Yeah.
They just don't make bad
It's just
movies.
Yeah.
entertaining.
Yeah.
But back to what you
know?
said with watching animated movies with your kids, like they're gonna make it for adults. And when you watch some of the movies that we watched as kids, like
Yeah.
Lion King, Aladdin, Little Mermaid, if you actually watch it as an adult, like
Yeah.
wait, I didn't remember any of these jokes
Yeah.
when we were kids.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't remember any of these jokes when we were kids. So
Yeah,
the fact
yeah.
that when we watch it back now, I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
oh, that joke happened. Oh, I didn't hear that joke. That's funny now.
And you know what? We've got another special guest critic, Kamasi Hopkins. Welcome, sir. How's it going?
It's going all right.
Good to see you.
It's
Thanks,
good to
man.
see you
Have
again.
a seat. Have a seat. Just chatting about Toy Story 4.
Nice to officially meet you guys.
Yeah.
Pleasure.
I actually had Kamasi on like a year ago.
Yeah.
I interviewed you and your posse. Like a bunch of you guys.
Andrew, yeah.
Rappers, actors, right?
Yes, yes,
Cool,
yes.
cool.
Singers.
Cool, nice. So are you a fan of Pixar, animated films?
I love Pixar.
Nice.
I grew up with Toy Story, yes, but to be honest, it wasn't really one of my favorites. I did also prefer Bugs Life over
Okay.
Ants.
You did? Okay, all right.
You know,
You're
I mean,
the minority here.
I know, apparently. Wow.
It was just all around amazing. The voice acting, the plot, and just the character development.
Nice. I'm trying to think of another awesome Pixar movie. What was the one with the robot? WALL-E?
Wally, I didn't see, but I've never heard a bad review.
It was good. I don't know, maybe a little overrated in my opinion, but
I mean, it depends on what you were going for. Like,
Yeah.
it definitely showed that end of the world type
yeah.
feel for kids.
Right, it was the
Everyone loves a
future.
good apocalypse movie. For
Sure.
kids.
And
For
kids
kids.
don't. But kids don't have those type of movies because it's kind of dark, but
No.
it worked.
Yeah.
Also, a kid, their toy breaks, and that's the end of their world. So
Yes.
it's tough to make a movie like that when you're dealing with
This
a
little girl
volatile.
had a toy that was made out of a spork. Like, this is
Yeah.
what the mind of children.
Oh my God! I
the
felt
mind of children.
the emotions that I felt for her when she went into kindergarten. Oh
Oh
my
my
God!
God.
Yeah,
Yes.
it hit
Oh.
home. Like,
That's what I love about Pixar animation, though. The little kids.
Yeah.
Like, remember that little girl who was in what was it? Minions? No, not Minions. Minions?
That's
Despicable Me?
That's DreamWorks.
Despicable Me, the little girl. That was still DreamWorks, but yeah, that's DreamWorks. But the animation for these little kids with those big eyes,
Yeah.
it just brings on the
Yeah.
emotion.
It's cute.
Like, those little kids look just
Also,
like
you
the little
just-
girl inside of
You
Despicable Me.
you relate to those movies on such an emotional level because
Those
like
big eyes.
you know what it felt like to do that. You
Yeah.
know, like I
It's a
don't
big
remember
step.
kindergarten, but I
big
remember feeling uncomfortable my first day of school.
I remember
Not wanting to do that
preschool. I
stuff.
didn't want to go.
Yeah.
I
I'm
was
no longer
scared.
gonna be with
Right.
my
Yeah.
parents anymore. You're
Absolutely.
scared.
They captured that emotion beautifully.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
for
perfect.
sure.
The way that they pose the animation to show all of her emotion.
Yeah.
Just
Surprised I haven't seen an article on Facebook about some sort of religious group demanding that they remove the female couple in that scene.
Which
I
The
didn't
kindergarten
notice.
scene when she gets dropped off. There's
didn't
two
notice.
moms,
Yeah, I didn't notice
Oh,
either.
wow.
and I believe they were interracial as well.
Oh
That's
wow!
funny.
Yeah, so I'm very surprised.
I
that-
didn't
It
notice
was subtle
that.
though. I didn't. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't.
Very
How'd you
subtle.
notice that?
I just notice things.
Nick knows things.
That's what I do. I drink and I know things.
He's good. He's
Hey,
good.
drinking, I know things.
So,
I definitely don't drink, so that part's a lie.
did you guys like the voice acting? Tony
Oh
Hale?
yeah, absolutely. I didn't believe for 10 seconds that was Tony Hale until I
He
looked
really
on IMDb
brought his
and I
voice
saw-
up. Yeah.
Yeah, he
no,
really
I did
did.
not.
I think you expect him to play it a certain way if it's him,
Yeah.
based on other
It
credits
was
he
very
has.
childlike, though.
And, no,
Well, he was like that in
Totally
Arrested
different.
Development. He was like basically a man-child.
Oh, really?
If you
Okay.
guys are familiar with Arrested Development.
I watched one episode and I was like, I don't understand this.
No.
and
I
just
never
turned
watched
it
Not
off.
your
I
type
never-
of. Okay.
I never watched any of the episodes.
It's just I don't know.
No.
Some stuff is just too ridiculous, I guess, for me.
Okay.
And I have a pretty high ridiculous meter. So
Alrighty.
But I like the real life idea of it, like thinking of it as an adult and not a kid. It definitely showed how to not sell yourself short, not get stuck in a rut, not do things for the people you love.
Yeah.
Sacrifice is a big thing. So you don't want to just sacrifice. Like, you want to do stuff for yourself.
Yeah.
And it showed Woody's point of view of sacrificing and
Yeah.
losing himself along the way.
It's
so.
really a story about maturity.
Yes.
And like how
Yeah.
you grow as a toy.
one
Or-
other thing that I kind of am on the fence about that I'm thinking about now
Uh-huh.
is the only gratuitous thing I could think of is the Bo Peep storyline.
Why?
Why?
I
With the-
feel like
with
they
the-
didn't,
with the
they
skunk?
didn't have to, not the skunk,
So
but
just her
like,
whole idea.
they
of
didn't
it?
have to like go back to that. Like I feel like that's like a plot hole that a lot of fans are like, what happened to her after what was it? She wasn't in 3.
Right.
wanted to
So
know
it's
where
like,
she
what
was.
happened with her? Where was she that whole time? It's like, that felt kind of gratuitous because it was kind of like, okay, let's throw in this side plot with Bo Peep about how she, everything that happened with her.
Right.
I don't know if you really, it added a layer, and I guess it allowed them to tie up Woody's story a little
That's
bit tighter.
the whole point of what they did
but
it for.
it did also, to a degree, feel like, oh, let's do
service.
something to placate a lot of fans that
Okay.
probably are complaining about it. It's like,
It's a good movie.
But they probably did complain about it.
I don't know.
yeah.
It was just a little lopsided.
Well, that's why,
think they were
but
tying
that's
up
why I'm
loose
on the
ends.
fence about it, because
Yeah.
I really did like it, and I liked what they did with her. But at the same time, it was like,
Right.
did you have to?
Right. Well, like with Monsters University, they
wanted
didn't
to tie-
have to.
They wanted to tie up loose ends,
I guess. I don't know.
Well, Monsters.
I'm pretty sure they're gonna
Yeah,
bring
but
up
if
with
you
a
did a
fifth
Monsters
one.
Inc. sequel, what do you do?
Yeah.
Right.
Like
They could have
they fixed
expanded
it.
upon the world. That's a
Yeah,
pretty cool
but
world.
Monsters Inc. They did everything.
No, not a,
But they did what they planned to do
Well,
in
they
the
could have
original
went
movie.
into, like, remember the doors?
Randall got
Yeah, the
everybody
doors.
got sent to jail, and everything's based
They
on
could have
laughs now.
focused on the door factory, the door like facility, and get into like the science. Like, how is that even possible?
Well, I mean, I don't want to watch a Discovery Channel special on a, pay
Doors-
$30 to see it. Like
$30.
how did this, how it's made on
I'm
History
curious
Channel?
how it works, but
Magic, Disney.
yeah. Well, guys, we have a limited amount of time, so let's get to our second film.
Do we have to?
Yeah, kind
we
of.
do?
I mean,
Really?
we could talk about it. We don't have to get into too much
What's your
detail.
favorite movie of this?
I know.
Yeah,
I'm,
me too,
I'm
like,
a
come on.
Shakespeare fanatic. Yeah.
You didn't like it?
I'm not a Shakespeare guy.
Me
I'm
neither.
not-
Me neither.
Yeah.
Wait,
know,
you did like
I
it?
was curious.
I
though.
was okay with it.
Yeah.
I was okay with it.
liked
It was decent. I liked it better than Hamlet. To be
Oh,
honest.
really? Interesting.
Yeah,
Okay.
because
Why don't you tell us what the movie is?
That's a good idea.
So that everybody knows what we're talking about.
Jumped right into
All right,
Yeah.
guys.
It's my fault.
We've got Ophelia, the story of Hamlet's girlfriend, played by Daisy Ridley of the Star Wars films.
Yes.
And basically, it's Hamlet told from Ophelia's perspective. And, Hamlet is the classic story of death and revenge and love and more death. And, yeah, Daisy Ridley, I mean...
Slight incest.
Yeah.
Like, just a touch.
I mean, it's got a great
Dash.
cast. You got Daisy Ridley here. You've got Naomi Watts as the queen. You've got Clive Owen as the new king who has assassinated.
Yeah, why is he not more of a thing? That is a good-looking individual.
Clive Owen?
Yeah.
With the wig? He looks a little weird with the wig.
Well, not with the. I'm just saying. I'm looking at him like that guy's really handsome. Why is
Well,
he not?
side
a
note,
thing?
I think he would have made a good James Bond. I think.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened there.
Everyone always thought that, but
Yeah.
it was a missed opportunity.
He's a good actor.
Sometimes people with James Bond, they don't want to get stuck in
Right,
that
exactly.
typecasting.
Right.
Exactly.
Same thing with Idris Elba. Like that's what
Yeah.
they're saying with him now. He doesn't want to do
But
it.
he would have been amazing.
He doesn't want to get stuck in that.
He's not that old.
Yeah, but he
though.
does all those. But see, the funny thing about
When they
that
see his
though,
face, they're
it's
gonna
like,
say,
oh, I don't
okay,
want to be
that-
typecast. But
Yeah.
Luther is a cop. Brixton in the Hobbs and Shaw movie.
I'm not
Yeah.
saying I
A really
agree
bad-
with
He was,
you.
on
a really
he was
big-
on The Office. He played a
he
tough
was,
guy, kind
He
of.
was a tough guy on The
Very
Office.
firm.
But
It-
if he played James Bond, like say he played it before he was in the Marvel films, I wouldn't be able to take his character the
seriously.
same way
Yeah.
that I was able to take it.
Interesting point.
It's true.
That's
All
true.
right.
Very true.
But still, I think he would have been a phenomenal James.
He would have been great.
And he would have broken down racial barriers.
Yeah.
Wait, Idris Elba was in the Marvel films?
Yes, he was.
Multiple
he
roles.
He was in
Thor's,
the Thor, the gatekeeper.
Oh yeah, he was
Yeah.
Heimdall. Yeah, I
Yeah.
forgot about
Did he
that.
Oh
play something
yeah.
else?
He had a
I'm an
small
idiot.
role. It was
It was
just-
small.
I mean,
role, but
No,
he
I'm.
was-
it was
I should know
important.
that. I'm dumb. I
Yeah.
love Idris Elba. I
Especially
should
in
know
Ragnarok.
everything about him.
All right, back to Ophelia.
Yes. We
See,
keep
see what I'm
digressing.
trying to do here?
keep
I know,
digressing.
you're a troublemaker, Nick. I like it. I like it. But yeah, this was not a great film. I mean, it was beautiful. Production design was phenomenal.
Right.
It was just
Cast
very
was nice.
aesthetically. It was nice to look at.
Yeah,
Yes, it was.
Very true.
And Daisy
Yeah.
Ridley,
Very
you know
true.
what? I was kind of hoping she would prove herself, like from a non-Star Wars role.
Yeah.
I was not impressed by her performance. I don't know.
To me, it's the problem is the characters. Like Shakespeare's characters just
Yeah.
aren't interesting people.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
they're literally just means to an end. He wants
the
to tell a
time.
story,
Yeah.
and he just used those characters to tell that story. It's not. There's no development for them. There's nothing to them.
I mean,
It's
they tried to
just-
show the woman power and show that she was different than
yeah,
all
a
the
lot of
other
that.
women. but
Yeah.
It was hard to like see that because
Yeah.
you're not used to that, especially with the Shakespeare
who
movies.
was the female lead in Rogue One?
Rogue One was the Stephen Hawking film.
What was her name? I can't remember her name.
British, dark
Yeah.
hair.
British, dark hair,
it.
is female.
So specific.
It'll come to me.
Is female.
Or I'll look
No,
it up.
Very good description.
the reason why I'm asking is because I kept thinking Daisy Ridley was that person.
Oh.
They're very similar. They have,
Yeah, well, the only difference is the overbite.
yeah.
Because I remember she had like big British teeth.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
the only thing that I remember. And I kept looking at it. I'm like, no, that's Daisy Ridley. No, that's Daisy Ridley.
Well,
Wait, so you were wrong or you were right?
I kept having to remind myself that I wasn't looking at the actress I thought I was.
Felicity Jones.
Felicity
Okay.
Jones. I kept thinking it was
Yeah.
Felicity Jones.
Both British, both dark hair, both in Star Wars films.
They are.
Both around the same age,
Yes,
sort of.
I can
Yeah.
see why you could get
But
confused.
Felicity
you.
Jones is a much better actress, actually.
See this?
She
I
was-
think she is too.
She was
is.
on the movie On the Basis of Sex, the Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
Yeah,
She was great.
I don't think.
Terrific.
I don't think Daisy Ridley could do like a role like that.
No, she's just a pretty face, really. I don't think she's like.
I mean, I'm not saying she's.
She
not
did. She does
bad,
well in
but-
Star Wars. you
Yeah,
know?
but she needs
But
a
that
non-
type
I wanna,
of role.
see,
I
Yeah.
want to see a non-Star Wars
Because I feel
role.
like this type of role was similar
if-
to the same.
I mean,
type
that's
of
really
role.
tough. That's
Yeah.
why. That's why for me, as an actor, I would love to be in a Star Wars film.
I could
but
see that.
Then,
That'd be cool.
Thank you. But then it's like, all right, how do I do that and still be able to do regular films?
Right.
Like that's not a lot of people.
It's sort of like the typecasting with James Bond.
Exactly,
Yeah.
because
So-
it's such a franchise that it's like, you're now that character. I
Yeah.
could not see
You don't
anyone
wanna-
else playing like Wolverine. That's
Yeah.
Hugh Jackman. The
Right.
end.
It's hard. It's
Right.
hard.
I
You
read,
don't
I
wanna
read an
get
article
seen
last
like
night about Mark Hamill and how he's a very accomplished voice actor.
Absolutely.
Right.
But what's the first thing you think of when you think of Mark Hamill?
Star Wars.
Exactly.
Luke.
And second thing is a close
The Joker.
second is Joker.
Yeah.
Animated
Yeah.
series.
But that's why
that. Can't get out of it.
Legend.
to go just to take a left turn for a minute to Doctor Who, Christopher Eccleston played the Ninth Doctor. A lot
Yeah.
of people, the big rumor was, he's never openly said it, I don't think, but the big rumor was the reason why he only did it for one season because he didn't want to be typecasted in that role.
Just don't
But it's
want
like,
to.
it doesn't matter because
Yeah.
when the property is so big and it's so expansive,
Right.
you're going to be known for that no matter what you do. Like
Yeah.
Colin Baker played the Sixth Doctor. He was fired from the role.
Okay.
And that's the one thing that everybody still knows him from. At the end of the day, if you're afraid to be typecast, you
Right.
can't be an actor in any major franchise because you're going to be known for
hard.
that
It's
role
hard.
until you take the jump into something else.
It also
Yeah.
depends though, because I still very much so see Daniel Radcliffe as Harry in the cupboard.
absolutely.
But he has managed to make a career outside of it. Who else? The 10th Doctor.
Yeah,
I
David
love him.
Tennant.
Yes,
David
he
Tennant,
does
yeah.
so many things now.
Yeah.
Sometimes it is a matter of maybe switching, just crossing waters.
Even in this Ophelia movie, I still saw Malfoy as Malfoy.
Exactly,
Like,
Yeah.
Tom Felton.
Like,
oh, it's
That's in
Malfoy.
everything because he's in the
That's
Flash as well. He's
Yeah.
in Flash,
And
and I
he's
was
just
like
Malfoy.
Malfoy.
And
and in the Flash, he had an American accent. I'm
Right.
like, wait a second.
Daniel
Yeah,
Radcliffe has
doesn't
put
work.
together a nice acting career for himself because he could have
Absolutely.
just sat on the Harry
Literally
Potter
what's
money and he
happening
didn't.
right now with the
Absolutely.
Batman movies
Yeah,
with Robert Pattinson.
Oh.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
the main reason why people don't want him
I don't
because
like it.
of the
It's
Twilight
fine. They'll
movies.
just put,
Exactly.
They'll
You're like,
give
no,
him. They'll give him
you're-
a sequin bat suit. It'll be fine.
I
and
joked
what
to
you
someone.
Sparkle
just said is
just like in
why
That's what I
Twilight.
said. I was like, if I see Batman sparkle in the
And what you're
daylight,
just
I'm
saying
gonna
right
get it.
now is why
No.
he's typecasted. Like the poor
Yeah,
guy, he
yeah.
can't be taken seriously.
It's like people.
But he's good.
Yeah.
That's the tough thing about
Is he?
that.
He's
he is.
really good.
He is.
Pattinson? That's
Yes.
right.
He's
Well, I
really
think for
good.
that, I think for
But people will always see him as
Right.
that glowing vampire.
I
Exactly.
think for Bruce Wayne, based on like just the fringe stuff I know about Twilight, I feel like he'd be good for it because I feel like his character in Twilight was kind of like a
this
brooding,
dark,
quiet
brooding
character.
guy. Exactly.
So like if you can do dark stuff and be like a brooding kind of like
Yeah.
That's Bruce
complex
Wayne right
layered
there.
character, why would it why would you do poorly? But back to Ophelia.
Back to Ophelia. Actually, we're sort of running out of time
you
here.
brought us back.
Yeah.
You're right.
I tried really hard.
But you all saw the movie. See it or skip it.
Skip it.
Oh, no.
If you want to feel like you're in English class in high school, you should totally watch this movie. Otherwise, don't.
Aww.
Mr. Hopkins.
For the sake of just a different look at the story, why not? Yeah.
All right,
I'd
cool.
say look
So
at it.
kind of like a maybe. is a general consensus.
Maybe.
I think it's worth checking out if you're a hardcore Shakespearean enthusiast.
True.
I mean, it's a nice attempt to
Yeah.
like, okay, well, what if it was from this character's perspective?
Right.
That's
But
true.
for me, I'm just, to me, Shakespeare characters are just not. There's not enough depth to them.
Right.
That you can really do that.
I think they were for that time
Yeah.
very groundbreaking, but now it's like
Yeah.
Because we've seen it so
Yeah.
many times. We've seen so many
and
different
we've
types
progressed.
of. Yeah, we've seen so many.
And those
different
stories are
things.
very linear. You
Yeah.
know, it's
Yes.
like Hamlet wants revenge, and he starts wanting revenge, and he gets to point B. It's point A to point B.
Right.
You know, now films there's point A, B, C, Z, Q, F, like.
And then
Movies
there's
go in
has
so many
nothing-
different
and it has
directions.
nothing to do
Right.
with saying from that time. Look
Yeah.
at look what Game of Thrones, like
Yeah.
that's an old time
Right.
feel, and it got such a fan following. So it has nothing to do with that time. It's just how it was,
And
how
they
it was
used his-
portrayed.
And they use
Right.
his dialogue too.
And,
which is
How it's
fantastic.
and
portrayed.
speaking of time, we're actually running out of it.
Yeah.
But
Oh, are we?
He's trying to wrap that up for me.
Yeah.
Speaking of time,
I wanted to go around. Do we have any plugs? Anything we're working on? We want to talk about, Amanda? No.
Nothing for me, but there is a Brooklyn bike tour that's happening this Friday
Nice.
at 10:30 a.m. So I posted it on my news feed. So
Wednesday. I'm sorry.
10:30 a.m. this Friday.
Friday. Okay.
It's a Brooklyn bike tour.
Cool. All right. That sounds fun.
Yes, filming has begun on The Wingman as of last night, so
Nice.
we will have that coming out relatively soon after we film more stuff.
Ooh.
Wrestling podcast about wrestling is going through yet another metamorphosis, so look out for new episodes with that. I will be flying solo, and my co-host Justin and I are going to be taking a different venture together with something else. And Instagram and Twitter at Nick Commando.
Yay. Cool.
Nice.
Kamasi.
Recently, I released my first musical release. It's called the Somerset EP, just a bunch of summer songs. My name is Scorpio, XCORPIIIO, and that can be found on Apple Music, Spotify, etc., etc. And finally, I have 2 films that are coming out at the end of this month, actually.
Nice.
Yes.
What can you talk about them real quickly?
Yes, one of them is about when the pressures of being in a band, it's called X-Disposer, when the pressures of being a band and having anxiety issues gets the best of one of the players, and it forces him to split from the rest of the group of friends.
Okay.
And the second one is called Off Season. It's just about a bunch of rich kids from Manhattan and the kind of trouble they could get into on a New Year's evening.
Cool. All right. That sounds fun.
It was fun. It was fun to film.
Cool. Maybe we could have you back and you can talk about it some more.
Yeah, that would be great.
Or bring some of your cast and crew.
Yeah, actually,
Something?
it's with X-Disposers with Jack DeFalco. Actually, he's in the Goldfinch, Daredevil, and a bunch of other films. that I've
Oh,
been
cool.
in.
All right. Cool. We'll talk more about that at another
Absolutely.
time. And I just want to give a shout out to Barbecue Films. It's this immersive cinematic production company. They've done stuff like Beetlejuice's Wedding and The Enchantment Under the Sea Dance for Back to the Future. And I've worked with them. I've actually met them at a Ghostbusters thing in Brooklyn 3 years ago when they were promoting the new film. And I basically just helping them out with different things over the years. They're doing a new thing in honor of Gay Pride. It's a one-night-only immersive cinematic experience featuring the films Paris is Burning and The Adventures of Priscilla, Queen of the Desert. And this is taking place this Tuesday, the 25th, at Macy's in Herald Square. So if you're curious, just go to eventbrite.com and search Macy's Celebrates Pride and Joy 2019. It's guaranteed to be a really cool cinematic event, so check that out. And also, we've got some plugs from our sponsor, Magnitude Jewelry. I actually just got this today. We've got June 30th, Staten Island Holistic Fair, July 6th to the 7th. Long Beach, July 20th to the 21st, Austin, Texas. And July 28th, the Awaken Fair, New York City. And I could post up more clear descriptions of that. I just got off a text. But yeah, guys. Yeah, so real quick, we have 1 minute. 1 minute left. What are you looking forward to, real quick?
Annabelle!
Really? Okay, we're going to be reviewing that next week, actually.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
I can't wait.
Yeah, Nick.
Pizza I'm going to eat later.
Oh, Pizza the movie?
I think you meant movie.
Oh, I mean, you said something looking forward to. I really didn't have anything.
All right.
Never know what you're going to get with me, Randy.
No? Come on, say.
I haven't yet seen Endgame, so I'm looking to see that.
Oh my God, it's like a month ago.
I know.
I mean, they're re-releasing it with more stuff in it,
That's
so
I'm so
go
happy.
for it,
Yes,
man.
you
All
should
right.
see the
I'm so happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Check it out.
More
it out.
footage.
And
Time
Annabelle
to
too.
beat
'Cause I
Avatar.
love Vera Farmiga.
Yes.
All right, guys. Cool.
Endgame is supposed to be even longer now.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Then I will get to see that.
Awesome, guys. Well, thank you so much. Sorry for the time crunch, but
That's
yeah,
okay.
We'll be back with more Under the Radar next week. But I want to thank my wonderful panel of critics today: Amanda Vasquez, Nick Commando, Kamasi Hopkins,
Thank you.
and I've been your host Randy Unger, and we'll be back next week with more Under the Radar. Stay tuned.
Under the Radar is all new next week with more movie reviews and interviews on Strong Island Radio and Television. Stay tuned. We'll see you next week.